Hello, welcome to Return to Self. My name's Alana, and if we haven't met before, then it's lovely to meet you. Now, today I had a really interesting message coming through for people out there in the collective at the moment that are finding certain situations in their lives are no longer resonating with them. So, for many of you, this could be things like jobs, relationships, friendships, various dynamics that you're involved in. And what you're being asked to do at the moment is to take the time to go within, to reflect on these situations, and to ask yourself what you're getting out of these situations and what you may need to let go of at the moment. The situations that you should be involved in are ones that bring you joy. If things are not easy, if things feel like they're a struggle, if things don't feel like they're fully resonating with who you are and your expression as a soul, then it's likely that it's time to let go of these things to allow space for new things to come in. What you're basically doing is sending out your intentions into the universe, letting it know what you're wanting to manifest in your life currently. So if you no longer resonate with people, if you feel like you're on a different wavelength, then it's time to start looking at some of these situations. I feel like this is your soul calling you. It's calling you into higher frequencies, and it's asking you to let go of the things that are placing limitations on your life right now. What I'm saying is that when you do this, it helps to heal your heart chakra. It also helps to ignite your solar plexus as well. So what I'll do at the moment is pull out some cards, and interestingly what I'm being asked to pull out are actually shadow aspect cards first. The first card I've got here is fulfillment, and it says striking gold in every experience. The next one is defense mechanisms, soothe uncomfortable situations or thoughts. And one more is the journey into darkness, know your heart and dreams. So I can see why they've asked me to pull from this deck at the moment. So in terms of fulfillment, striking gold in every experience, this card is suggesting to you that you're needing to focus on finding your individuality at the moment and finding the benefits in the situations that you might be encountering at this stage. It can be really hard to face a relationship that's not working as you would have wanted it to, or being in a job that's actually not really fulfilling you, or having friendships with people that you used to be really good friends with, but perhaps you sort of no longer resonate with quite as much. But what they're also doing is highlighting to you areas where your life needs to change, basically. It's showing you aspects of your life that could do with being upgraded. I'm also just seeing a crocodile, and to me, crocodiles always signify ancient energies. I feel like maybe some of the situations that you need to let go of are actually karmic situations. I'm getting as well image of an ear, and for me the ear always means that spirit has been trying to send you messages about something, but perhaps you haven't been able to fully hear the messages. I'm also getting the words unconscious in my mind, so I feel like perhaps some of these things have sort of been semi kind of rattling around in your head, but you haven't been fully conscious of them. You might just sense that there's sort of an unease or something off about the various interactions that you've been involved in of late. So Spirit's just really wanting you to pay attention to areas where you feel a sense of discomfort and sort of unease and things like that. And fear as well, I'm being told. I'm also getting the words fulfilled. So look at the relationships and interactions in your life where you're not feeling particularly fulfilled, because I feel like you need to feel fulfilled right now. What I'm also seeing is a dragon coming through as well, and it's sort of like a bit of a greeny kind of colour. If you feel drawn to dragons, I think that this is symbolising the fact that you are coming into more empowerment. This dragon is helping to guide you towards the things that you would really like to do that would fulfill you, that would make you feel energetically much more aligned with what you want to do in the world, basically, is what I'm being told. So rather than staying in situations that feel sort of stuck and that aren't sort of nurturing to your soul, I think it's asking you to look at what you can create that would fulfill you right now. And I feel like this will be a very intuitive kind of process. For anybody listening out there, I feel like you are probably quite an intuitive collective. So just trust your gut instincts in relation to this. There could be lots of different areas in your life that need adjusting at the moment, or it could just be one or two that need to be focused on. All right, so the next one is defense mechanisms. Soothe uncomfortable situations or thoughts. So the first thing that I got with this was the idea that a lot of empaths will often put themselves in uncomfortable situations. Unfortunately, I think that this is a part of the journey, really. It's a journey to awakening to yourself, and because you're so sensitive to energies, you sort of become a bit of a chameleon and you learn to adapt and adjust to other people's energies in order to keep safe. So I think that this card is actually calling you within to look at the situations in your life where you're playing it safe and where you're making yourself uncomfortable just to make other people comfortable. Where are you not speaking up in your life at the moment? Where do you need to set boundaries? Where do you need to change dynamics? It's really asking you to question some of these things at the moment. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you're living in a lot of defense mechanisms, and these are a part of your shadow aspect and something that's needing to be integrated at the moment. And they're saying to me, the reason this needs to be integrated is because it's actually blocking your sense of inner power at the moment. That sort of disempowerment, they're saying, causes despair. There's a lot of old cords that are needing to be cut with people. These could even be cords from the past. So it could be really useful to do some cord clearing exercises at the moment. There's plenty of meditations and things like that on YouTube, and also plenty of books out there that will discuss cord cutting. Hopefully you're able to find some resources out there for that. All right, so the next one is Journey into Darkness. So my first impression with this card is that it's only through the darkness that you can actually connect with the purity of the heart energies. It's not until you've been through the worst of the worst that you can actually really appreciate that genuine love and unconditional acceptance that the universe would like you to feel and experience at this time. So it's only through doing that healing work that you're able to come into a space of unconditional love. They're giving me the words unfolding and fulfilled. So I feel like as you unfold the many layers and masks that have sort of kept you repressed, I think, in a lot of ways, the more you'll be able to come into yourself as a soul, the more your soul will bloom. I do get the words tired for a lot of you as well. So I do feel like this has probably been an ongoing process of lots of different layers being removed and transmuted. Again, I'm getting the need to do some cord cutting and clearing exercises. Perhaps you could also ask this dragon that's popped into this reading to help you with it. So maybe just call upon the green dragon if you'd like. I do feel like it will help you in terms of cord cutting. Again, the reason you need to come into the heart chakra is so that you can express your inner power. So it's only by having your heart chakra cleared and opened that you're able to receive things. And also, when you're able to express yourself, when you're able to express your soul purpose, then you attract situations that are in alignment with your frequency right now, and you attract much healthier outcomes for yourself as well. All right, I might actually pull a couple more cards. I am seeing bats at the moment too, so this does feel like a very intense shadow work process that people are going through at the moment. And I do see that this has been really difficult for a lot of people out there. I think there's been a lot of challenges in relation to this lately. They're giving me the word skills and empathic. So a lot of you probably identify, like I said, as empaths, and you are also skilled in this particular area. I'm just going to pull a couple more. This next card is Shadow Song. And this one says, Hear Your Soul Song. So what I feel with this card is that by going deep into your shadow side, clearing some of their energies there, sort of working with your shadow side, you'll be able to actually hear your soul's voice. This aspect of you is the aspect that will allow you to focus on what you want to manifest in your life, but also to focus on things like where you should set boundaries, where you should say no to various sort of situations and things like that in your life. It's asking you and inviting you to come into a really deep sense of self, basically. And I know that this can be really hard for a lot of people because it's such a transformative process. And as much as that comes with a lot of beautiful kind of changes that you can manifest into your life, it also comes with a lot of hardship. And I think that this is something that few people realize is how hard some of this work can be, especially when it involves your inner child, especially when it involves a lot of sort of inner wounds, things that need to be transmuted, basically. It's not easy. There's a lot of repressed energies here that I can sense at the moment. Working through that as you clear out all of the masks and things like that that have hidden you from your soul's song is hard. Unfortunately, it's just a part of the journey, but it is definitely worth it as you remove those layers. It allows you to come into a sense of sovereignty, is what I'm being told, and helps you to refine your vibration. I keep seeing an image of a fork, and for me that always means changing frequencies. The more you change frequencies, the better your life becomes at the end of the day. All right, the next one is self-awareness. So observe from a balanced perspective. So I feel like as you do come into your soul purpose, that it helps you to develop a lot more self-awareness because you're having to go so deep within yourself. You're having to assess those places in your life where your life just isn't really working. It requires a lot of deep kind of reflection work. It's a lot of inner work, basically. It's a lot of sitting with yourself, sort of allowing yourself to go through that hermit type energy and really just reflecting on the various aspects of your life and where your life is heading right now. Okay, I'm going to pull out one more. I do see for this collective too that there's something in your ancestry, I think, in your bloodlines that's causing you to want to do some of this work. So perhaps you have a bloodline that has been involved in a lot of healing type work is what I'm getting. And I think that this is where your abilities are actually stemming from, is probably genetic DNA that's been passed down through your ancestry. And that could go back lifetimes. It could be the family's tree of psychics and sort of seers and things like that is what I'm seeing. So the last one that I've got here is separation. So it's reconnecting to your center. So what I'm feeling here, and to basically connect with your core and to give from that core space. And I think that it's quite a challenge to sort of get to this place where you are only creating from your core, because it's so easy to fall into the traps of just taking what you can get in your life, whether it's relationships, friendships, jobs, sort of there's so many things in our lives that we can just settle for. But it's a lot harder to come into yourself and really intentionally think, what am I going to create in my life? What really resonates with me right now, and what am I going to do with myself, basically. I see that going through this process transforms you. It allows your soul to shine brighter than it could in any other way. All right, I might pull some other ones now to lighten the energy a little bit. Just see what else comes out. So the first one that we've got here is Love Matters. So with this card, it's basically a woman that's touching a sort of some sort of bird, basically. I feel this is about creating what you love in your life at the moment from a grounded sort of space. You need to be very centered to be able to create the life that you want, for it to come from a really pure vibration or the highest vibration that you can manifest at this stage. I'm just being told that everything that you manifest is a reflection of where you are right now. So if you're manifesting things that don't resonate for you, there's probably lessons in it for you, but you can ask for something different. Just acknowledge the lessons, let the old go, and sort of take that time to reflect on actually, what do I want? What would serve me better in this moment than perhaps some of the other circumstances that you've been through? I also get the words courage here as well, and needing to use your logic over your emotions a lot of the time. I think sometimes as an empath, it's really easy to become overridden by your emotions when actually you require sort of the use of a lot more logic at certain times. I'll pull a couple more. Vulnerability. There is a lot more vulnerability that you start to connect with because you start connecting with your inner child a lot more. And I think at this stage, it's actually really important to be able to nurture your inner child. You really need to be in sort of gentle spaces at the moment where you don't feel like you're constantly on edge, because I do feel like you're going through a big sort of healing around your self-worth and self-acceptance. Spirit is basically guiding the way, is what I'm getting told. You may feel a bit adrift through this process, but know that you are being guided and supported through it. I might just pull one more, I think. Okay, so we've got a lovely one to finish with. So you are worth it. I feel like this is definitely a process of coming into your self-worth. This stage requires you to think about what you're worth and to know your value. You may no longer be able to stay in situations where you feel like you're having to mask and camouflage yourself. To me, it just feels like you can no longer handle things not being real, if that makes sense. If it doesn't resonate, you just don't want to do it, basically. This may be something different for you at this stage, so it may not be an energy that you've experienced before, but I do see it as a really important aspect of your transformation. As you unmask, as you choose higher frequencies, as you choose to love and accept yourself, you start to bloom. So at the end of the day, this is the reason that we're here. We're here to transcend our current limitations and to grow as individuals and to grow as souls. This is the purpose of having lifetime after lifetime. Gather a bunch of experiences that can help us as we work through the individuation process. All right. I think that I will leave it here. I don't think that I am getting anything else through. So I hope that this reading has helped you in some way. Let me know in the comments if you have resonated with this, if you would like any further information in relation to this topic. Other than that, I wish you the best through this process. Know that I am also going through this process with you. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.